Hey, thank you, guys. Breaking news from overnight and good morning on this Fox News alert. Russia is on the move yet again, announcing a brand new round of airstrikes in Syria. Moscow says they're targeting ISIS. U.S. officials say that is simply not true. Russia is hitting those who oppose Assad, the same groups that have been backed by the United States. Good morning, everybody. This is a mess. I'm Bill Hemmer, and welcome here to America's Newsroom. Welcome back, Patty Ann.
Good morning, Bill. It's great to be here. I'm Patty Ann Brown in for Martha McCallum, and it is a high-stakes game of chess now between Russia and the United States. Vladimir Putin apparently using the threat of ISIS as a way of attacking the enemies of longtime Russian ally, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
So the Russian strikes are centered in Homs, that's near Damascus, but there are no ISIS targets in that area. Our Defense Secretary Ash Carter saying that's the problem. And then you will hear his Russian counterpart disagreeing and slamming the Pentagon.
It does appear that they were in areas where there probably were not ISIL forces, and that is precisely one of the problems with this whole approach.
You say something about Pentagon? Everything was said by the Russian Ministry of Defense. Don't listen to Pentagon about the Russian strikes.
Wow, so there's that. Doug McKelway is live at the Pentagon today. And Doug, good morning. Don't listen to the Pentagon, just ask me, says the Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov. What is the latest now from overnight?
Well, Bill, despite Secretary of Defense Ash Carter's concern that these Russian airstrikes are hitting parts of Syria that are not under ISIS control, for instance, in Homs, as you mentioned, and civilian casualties are part of the deal, the Russian defense minister is saying something entirely different. The AP reporting that the Russian defense ministry says it has damaged or destroyed 12 targets in Syria belonging to ISIS, including a command center and at least 2 ammunition depots, adding that the Russian attack planes have mounted 20 sorties thus far, targeting only militant positions and not civilian areas. Yesterday, Secretary of Defense Ash Carter appeared to indicate that he trusts what the Russians are saying is true, but he also added they're making a very big mistake.
I take the Russians at their word. There's no they're exceptionally clear about what they're saying, and their actions now seem to reflect what they said they were going to do. My problem isn't that I don't understand what they're doing. I think my problem is that I think what they're doing is going to backfire and is counterproductive.
But just within the hour, speaking on CNN, the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, John McCain, said this, and I quote, "I can absolutely confirm to you that the strikes were against the Free Syrian Army, groups armed and trained by the CIA, since we have communication with people there." And moments ago, Reuters appeared to confirm exactly what Senator McCain just said, reporting that Russian airstrikes hit a training camp of Syrian rebel groups trained by our CIA. This is obviously a very, very fluid situation, developments occurring rapidly, and the Pentagon struggling to keep up with events as they do change.
Yeah, Doug, thank you. We're going to get back with you at the Pentagon as we get more information. Doug McKelway leading our coverage there today. Thank you, Patty Ann.
Well, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest not saying for sure what targets are being hit, but he did find a way to compare Russia in Syria to the U.S. in Iraq.
Russia will not succeed in imposing a military solution on Syria any more than the United States was successful in imposing a military solution on Iraq a decade ago, and certainly no more than Russia was able to impose a military solution on Afghanistan 3 decades ago.
Well, we have more on this coming up with Ambassador John Bolton. What happens now as President Obama's policy in Syria is said to be collapsing? We'll discuss.